pleasure to introduce our speaker, Mr. Vishwanath. He's a dynamic, multifaceted, international facilitator and consultant with over 15 years of rich cross-industry experience across corporate, startups, academia, and international markets. His unique blend of leadership facilitation, organizational development expertise, and academic insights enables him to deliver transformative learning experiences for individuals and organizations globally. He has delivered over 1,300 plus programs and workshops across India, Latin America, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and more, covering a broad spectrum of themes from leadership and design thinking to sales, business strategy, and innovation. He's a TEDx speaker, delivered a talk at TEDx TCET Mumbai 2018. We welcome you, sir. Please give him a huge round of applause.
So it's about 90 minutes, correct? Of which we lost about 5-6 minutes. And we have a lot of things to cover, as you can see. Deliberately I have put the and, plus, and, just so that you don't miss that out. So let's get the ball rolling. Quick question. Does conflict management even matter? Is that yes or no?
Yes.
Sure. Yes. Why? Why should it matter?
Expectation doesn't go with.
Sorry, what's that?
Science expectation doesn't go with our.
So, therefore, conflict, fighting.
No.
Then
Arguments kind of.
arguments.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Result is good results.
I'm sorry, what is that?
Good result.
To get good results. Okay. Then
Increase productivity.
increase productivity. Okay. Then anybody else? The time is always against us. Okay. Then what else?
Relationship.
What relationship? Which relationship is more important? And in fact, you can even remove some words there and ask, does conflict management also matter? Why only at work? If somebody is a relationship, it can be professional relationship, it can be personal relationship. So I have a question for all of you. Can we eliminate conflict? No, really? Not possible.
Not 100%.
Which means we cannot. Even if we have a little, that means it is still there. So why do you think we cannot eliminate conflict?
Because there will always be a difference of opinion.
Because there will always be
Difference
some
of
differences in opinion, perspective, point of view, whatever be the case, right? Fair enough. So, yes, you will realize this as we go along, and I'll show you a little bit stuff later during the presentation, that the old view or the traditional view was that we can eliminate conflict, but slowly people realize, no, that is not possible. All we can do is manage it. Right? So that's why the focus on managing conflict. Otherwise the session will be on eliminating conflict. So no, that's not possible, therefore it's on managing conflict. That's fundamental. Acha, something even more fundamental. This is also true. Correct, no? Yes or no? Yes. Sure. Is there anybody who has never had conflicts? If you have, please come here, I will go there. That would be nice. Okay. Right, so how do we define conflict? Let's define conflict. Can somebody...
Difference of opinion.
Difference of opinion? Okay, then?
Misunderstanding.
I'm sorry?
Misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding. Most dangerous of all. Okay, then?
Different perspectives.
Different perspectives, then? What all you are telling, is that conflict or is it the reason for conflict? Those are actually reasons for conflict. Is that correct? That is not conflict by in and on its own. So what is conflict? How do we define conflict? You all said conflict is there. It can't be eliminated. Everything you are telling so nicely. But then what is conflict?
Not agree with the other person.
Not agree with the other person.
Ego.
Again ego. Is that conflict or is it leading to the conflict? Anybody, any other thoughts?
Difference in situations.
Difference in? For example?
Understanding.
Understanding? Fair enough.
Situation.
Yeah. So if you all have something to write with, if nothing you have your phone, right? You make a note in that, my suggestion. The word conflict comes from two root words of Latin. It is called etymology. You know what's etymology? No? How many of you don't know etymology? Hands up. Oh, that's a big chunk. Okay. Etymology is the branch of knowledge that deals with roots and meanings of words. Like today our city's name is Bengaluru, correct? It was Bangalore, became Bengaluru, but actually it was what? Vendakadu. Is that correct? Those who know Kannada, you know what I am trying to say. Correct? That is the etymology of the meaning of the root of the city's name, Bangalore. Are we okay? So if you go to the root, it comes from two words. Make a note. C-O-N, con. C-O-N is con, not the American con. American con means what American corn means? No, that is corn. This is corn.
Cunning.
I knew you would say that. No, not cunning. Con means like a scam or like cheating. You know, he pulled a con or she pulled a con, which means she cheated essentially. So not that con. This is the Latin con, and the other word is fligere. F-L-I-G-E-R-E. Fligere. Okay. Con, anybody speaks any Latin languages? Like Portuguese, Spanish? No? Nobody? Okay. So if you knew it, you would also know this. Like I speak Spanish, so I know. C-O-N, con means with. W-I-T-H, with. Okay? The word fligere means F-L-I-G-E. What is it? Aria. I'm checking whether you're making a note. Okay? Fligere means opposing forces. Opposing forces. So now you put it together, what happens with opposing forces? Isn't that what conflict is? You have two forces that are opposite in nature coming together, right? And that could be because of ego, it could be because of a difference in opinion, different perspectives, different points of views. It can be hazard reasons. But the point is, you are having opposite forces, and that is conflict. Now, interestingly enough, even if you see the dictionary meaning, it says disagreement, struggle, fight, or incompatibility. But actually, if you think deeply, these are all symptoms. These are all the outcomes of conflict. This cannot be the definition technically, but anyway, that's what the dictionary says. So I don't want to go against the dictionary, otherwise the dictionary and me will be in conflict. But the point is, I just want to acknowledge the fact that this is what the dictionary says. But if you want to understand fundamentally, it just means two forces that are opposite in nature. Are we good? You've got a new idea about conflict, right? Let's proceed. If you don't manage conflict, because you know you cannot eliminate it, correct? You all realize that. And the reason is very simple. There are no two. Are you all listening, by the way? Yes. So whenever I have something important to tell you, I will give this dialogue before. Are you all listening? I learned it from my father. So my nickname within my family is Vishu. Okay, Appa also calls me Vishu, but younger days when I was in school and other times, if he would call me Vishwanath, which means I am in trouble. He would give a notification, before he would get into accident. Anyway, so I give a notification also so that we pay attention. So I hope you're all listening. So the point I was trying to make is wherever there are two living beings, forget human beings, wherever there are two living beings, there will be conflict, 100%. Okay, so therefore we have now realized we cannot eliminate it, we can only deal with it, manage with it, and go proceed further. So, if you don't manage, it can lead to violence. Sometimes it can lead to breaking of relationships. And you can see here advertisement for a divorce lawyer, $99 with coupon code if you go a little deeper, I suppose. And anybody been here to the US? Anybody traveled? You've been there, sir? Which part? Philadelphia, East Coast, Pennsylvania. Okay. You've been which part?
New York and Essex.
Covered the whole thing or just two places in between? Forget it. Okay. Alright. So anyway, US is a place where there's an entire industry. Actually this is there across the world, but they have made it an industry where you can sue anybody for anything. It is the world's most litigated country. Right? So they have converted this entire conflict management into a industry. you will observe when you're going on the roads, freeways and other places, there are big boards. We have big boards, right? Hotel 10 kilometers ahead on the highway. There, divorce lawyer. Call now. Or they will say a specialist in suing retail chain. Or they will say specialist in suing airlines. I mean, God knows what are they. You can be sued for anything in that country. Anyway, why I'm saying is because they have figured out how to monetize the entire conflict. Okay? It can also lead to killing each other. We have seen the extreme cases. I mean, it was very heartbreaking to read a few days ago. The father killed the daughter. Tennis player, right? That was ridiculous, right? So think about it. All kinds of conflict. And because we all unfortunately are living in Kali Yuga, this is a time of conflict only. For everything there can be a conflict. So much of quarrel. It also leads to destruction of communication. So what I would like you all to do, excuse me, write down, take 2 minutes, and write down some top 5 conflicts that you experience at workplace on a daily basis. If you are not working, you can even include those from your personal life. But I'm assuming since they're all majority of the members, you will all be working somewhere, I imagine. So why don't you write down the top 5 situations, scenarios where you're having conflicts on a daily basis. Please go ahead. You have 2 minutes, make a note. So I thought rather than me giving only a talk, I'll make you also a little active and keep you engaged by making you work. So there's something else also planned for you, right? So good, let's see. Once you're done, just raise your hand. And even if you write 2, 3 of them, that's fine. 2, 3 also will do. The reason why I'm requesting you, you will see later why I'm doing so. Okay? You have about 30 more seconds. Done? Okay, let's proceed. At least everybody has written 2 of them? Minimum 2? Sure. 3, 4, 5, whatever else you have written is great, but if at least 2 you have, we can continue with some activity which is down the lane. Okay, next. Here's a quick question. Is there a person or a group of people behind each of those? Behind each of the conflict, whatever you have written, is there a person or a group of people? If so, please identify them in front of it. Put a name, and if you don't want your neighbor to know who it is, you can use code language. Good? Alright, identified? Okay, I hope there are no common factors. Many conflicts and you find the same character showing up in each one of them. Hope that is not the case. Alright, so keep this, we will come back. Okay, some quick question, we'll have open discussion. Okay, open discussion. What do you think are some important skills or virtues, okay, which are necessary for being excellent or at least very good in managing conflict? What do you think are some of those skills?
Patience.
Patience, yes. Communication skill, yes.
Accepting people as they are.
Accepting people as they are. Hardest one. Then compromise.
Empathy. Go with the flow.
Empathy. Yeah, true, definitely true, but very deep. Then what else?
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. Forget everything, just go. Whatever comes, doesn't come. Okay then.
Give it a time.
I'm sorry?
Give it a time.
Give it some time. Okay.
Putting yourself in
Space.
their shoes.
Right, empathy again. Very good. You just described what he said in the term. What else? Guys at the back, last benchers. I was a last bencher. How many last benchers here in your school, college? Excellent. Well, that was the only reason to go early to the class. The most popular place in the class was the last bench. So all people who would come early would go pick up that place. So you have to go early, unless you have some way of reserving it. Okay. Yes, we said communication. We said empathy. Somebody said patience. She said accepting people the way they are. Somebody said let go. Somebody said just go with the flow. These are all some ways of doing. I'll give you an example. How many of you here have difficulty driving car or any vehicle? Not because of the skill of driving, because of all the dynamics of the road. No, anywhere in the country. Of course, some are worst case scenarios, such as our cities, it's pretty bad. What makes it even bad is that Bangalore is unique, Normally, most cities in our country, the roads have potholes. We have road in the pothole. Anyway, for example, I'm a pretty cool, relaxed, humorous, fun person most of the time. But if I am driving, all words I should not use will start coming. Right? So I have a good friend of mine, also a chartered accountant, and that bugger, he used to love driving a massive car, that Mahindra XUV 500, 400 something, or something is new. This is slightly 500 or 400 something, big gadi.
500.
5 is it? Chalo, 5. So he said, I wish I love driving, I enjoy myself. I asked him, how can you do that, boss? I told him my situation. So he gave one solution, conflict management. He said, Vish, before I start driving, are you all listening?
Yes.
How many of you want a solution for this? Hands up. See, now more hands are up. When I asked earlier, you did not raise. Okay, so he said, Vish, I assume that everybody on the road who's driving and who's walking is an utter fool and an idiot. I don't expect anything good from them. I expect the worst to come out from them. Very interesting. And I realized that is perhaps the reason he's enjoying, because I expect that these people will follow rules, that they will stick by the system, they will do things correctly, they will respect the system. They don't, and I get angry. I mean, this guy is yeah, correct. That's what I thought you will do. So therefore, he's not very angry. So perhaps, a little bit of what you said, accept the way it is, and what you said, going with the flow perhaps helps you. But I must tell you, these are all short-term solutions for long-term problems. Yeah, in the short term it might help you, but remember the conflict will not go away, and it only is going to get worse given the situation, and we are all seeing it. So please remember, sometimes it appears that some of these things which we do in the short term may be good. Yes, for that time, yes, but it will come haunting you much later. So think about it, short term versus long term. Chalo. So according to me, here's my list, okay? You need to be good in communication. There you go, good sir, you got that one right. Within communication, you got to be very good in listening, which is explained. Somebody said patience. Who said? You said patience. Patience and listening are very, very closely related, right? Assertiveness. What does assertiveness mean? Anybody?
Sticking to your position.
But that can be arrogance also, right?
Taking a stand with the facts and figures.
Facts. So you have stand with facts and figures. Okay. Anything else?
Proving the way we are thinking is right.
I'm sorry, sir.
When it is right, so proving with authority is the way we are, whatever discussing.
Perhaps what she's adding on, you come with facts, figures, and therefore you say I'm right. That could be. Okay. So in simple words, normally we humans have two default tendencies. How many? Two default tendencies. One is to be passive. The other one is to be aggressive. So if you're naturally aggressive, whatever anybody says, you will bounce, you will jump, right? Now, does that make conflict better or worse? It makes it worse. The other default position is passive. So, okay. Even though you don't agree, you say okay. Even though you're not happy, you will say okay. Even though you don't want it, you will say okay. How long? Until one day. And then
No, it will not launch, sir. That depends on that particular situation.
No, that's what. So it keeps building up. It keeps adding up, Which is how stress, one of the things about stress is this. You say yes when you have to say no, and also no when you have to say yes. Right? So my father is a doctor, and he says that sometimes it's better even if other person doesn't agree with you, you say I disagree. And you walk away. At least your heart is light and you will be better. But of course that also has some problems from a strategy point of view. Long story short, both of our default options are not good. Because as you all said, aggressive will make the situation worse. And if you are very passive, it won't go on for long. Because one day you are going to burst out, and even if you don't burst, it's even worse. It keeps piling up. There's a movie called Anger Management. How many of you have seen? Jack Nicholson. Others have not seen? Please, homework. Please make a note. Please go and watch this movie. Anger. It's a fantastic movie. The movie is about this guy who never expresses his anger. Okay, you see how that whole movie plays. I'm not going to spill the beans by telling you the details. Watch the movie, it is fantastic. But what I'm trying to say is, assertiveness is the ability to express yourself. You're all listening?
Yes.
Such a way that neither you feel that I have not told what I should tell, and the other person does not feel that you are being rude. Are you with me? Are we okay? So, assertiveness is a very important skill. Okay? Then what? Negotiations. So that we will see. In a few minutes we are going to get into negotiation. What is this? Very, very important. We will come to that also. Today's topic, emotional intelligence. And also the ability to persuade. Which is nothing but the ability also to influence. These are all some key skills and key virtues which you will have to develop if you need to be good in managing conflict. Are we cool? Now, remember in this we are going to only talk about negotiation, EI, that's it. And a little bit on branding later at the end. But that has nothing to do with this subject. Are we cool? This is all the time we have for today. So, we will quickly visit what is this? EI. So, what is EI that you are reading? No need to repeat that. But what does EI mean to you? How do you define EI?
Dealing with negative situation with positive attitude.
Okay, but that's more of an attitude. That's more of an attitude. Yeah, correct,
Way
no?
of dealing with people.
That's an attitude. Yeah. What is EI?
Keep yourself emotionally balanced even.
Keep yourself emotionally balanced. Somebody comes and smashes you and says, okay, hang on. Let me talk to you nicely. No, is that what emotional intelligence is? No, that's not. But balance is correct, that particular part. Anybody else? Somebody abuses you. And you're emotionally balanced and you're thinking, Acha, let me be cool, let me think what I should tell this person.
Balanced to emotionally respond. Intelligently respond.
Okay.
Without losing control and stressing ourselves.
Poker face.
No.
Not poker face.
Depending on the situation.
Depending on the situation. Well, in simple words, emotional intelligence is the ability. Are you all listening? It is the ability to first understand your own emotions and then also understand the emotions of others. If you are able to do this successfully, then your EI is very high. And the way you measure EI is by a term called emotional quotient. So we have something similar on the intelligence side. Intelligence quotient, correct? IQ. Is that right? IQ. And our entire global education system is focused only on IQs. Therefore, we are having a lot of intelligent people who cannot deal with stress. They cannot deal with anxiety, right? And these days in my sessions, I keep seeing young people saying, I had, sir, the other day, one girl actually once, she told me, sir, I had an anxiety attack. I'm like, okay, it took me a while to figure out what is anxiety attack. How does anxiety attack you, right? Let's think about it. So yes, this is happening. A lot of mental health related issues are more true in today's younger folks, the Gen Z folks, right? This is very much true with those guys. Possible there are many evolutionary reasons for that, be it as may. But EI is something which plays a very role of a fulcrum. You understand what's a fulcrum? What's a fulcrum?
Very essence.
Sorry?
It's a tool used to.
Yeah, it plays a role of essence. But what is a fulcrum? I'm actually giving you a hint like this.
Pivot.
It is a pivot. So it comes from science or engineering, which essentially says, have you seen a yo-yo? So in between there is one center point, right? It allows the whole system to be in balance, goes back and forth. Yes or no?
Yes.
That's called a fulcrum. So EI acts as a fulcrum between you and the people you deal with. Are we okay? That sort of decides which way you go. Right. So for example, if you see the fulcrum of Harbhajan Singh, obviously is very different from that of Dhoni, right? Who do you think is better? Dhoni, obviously. You might even get beaten by this fellow. Right?
Simons.
Huh? No. Simons is the worst case scenario. No, but Harbhajan slapped this guy, no? Srisan.
Yes, sir.
Once upon a time, remember in IPL, is that right?
IPL.
Yeah, it happened in IPL. Okay. So here's a quick note on self-awareness. Before that, I want to show this slide, then we'll come back. So if I put a whole emotional intelligence in a nutshell means in a small space, like a summary. It says there is something called as self, there is something called as others. There is the x-axis, y-axis is awareness and action. So knowing yourself, self-awareness is self-awareness. But if you can expand that awareness to others, then it becomes social awareness. Are we okay with this much? Now, on the other hand, if you take action on yourself, it becomes self-management. But if you also are able to take your actions related to other people, it becomes relationship management. This all packaged together is nothing but emotional intelligence. So now we'll come back to self-awareness. So my question is self-awareness important?
Very important.
Very important. In fact, without self-awareness, your entire EQ, AI, everything will not exist. Right? Like for example, I am very self-aware that I get worked up if I am on the road. That doesn't stop me from driving. Although I would love not to drive. But yes, I still have to drive sometimes. I bought a car recently, and that dealer guy says, "Sir, you should drive that car regularly, sir. Otherwise that battery will go. It will become weak and it will get drained out." And so I am now unfortunately having to look for opportunities to drive. And today also I drove and came. Because it was afternoon and I knew after my talk I will vanish quickly before the thick traffic begins. And parking is another thing. Luckily, coming to the institute, so I know there is some space, so I brought it. Otherwise, there is no way I would. So, long story short, you got to be very self-aware. So, while there is no time to go in depth, like I was just yesterday in Mumbai for a leadership program, and we went in depth to understand self-awareness. But here I just want to give you two suggestions on how to increase self-awareness. So make a note. Number one, you should be open to getting feedback. Open to getting feedback. Okay, am I audible? Yes. Okay, let's continue. Not to worry. Okay. The more open you are, the more feedback you get, and the more feedback you get, the more self-aware you become. Are we cool?
Yes.
Acha, one more way is become more open in sharing things about yourself. Open up. Like some of you may feel, oh, it is still not working. Okay, some of you may feel why I should tell more about myself. Of course, don't say everything about yourself, but at least be enough so that the other person feels and thinks and realizes you are being transparent. Are you with me?
Yes.
That is sufficient. So these are two ways that you can increase your good. Chalo.
What do we have here?
Right. Let it come back. Any questions so far? We take this as an opportunity to allow you to ask questions. Anybody any questions? No questions? Okay, how many of you want to know how good you are in emotional intelligence? Hands up. What is your level of emotional intelligence? How many of you would be curious? Only some people, others what? Hangover of the food? See, if you are still doing means you are in the paralysis of the... That's what it means. Yeah? Okay, those who are done now, flip the sheet and you will see it says scoring. So it says sum your responses to the 20 questions to obtain your overall emotional intelligence score. Are we clear? So if you sum up the scores of all that you have ticked, are you with me? Then you will get the score of EI. So there is a table below there, scores and norms. So it tells you overall EI is a summation of all the questions. Self-awareness is only 1, 6, 9, 13, 17, like that. Okay, there are different components. These are the components, correct? For each of the component, it tells you which question number to be added. That gives you an idea of where you stand, and there is a reference given there: high, medium, and low. So I'll give you 1 more minute to finish this quickly.
Sir, can you explain first point with an example?
Question number 1.
With an example.
Okay, associate different internal psychological cues with different emotions. So do you understand what's a cue? A cue is a hint. You know Kannada? Kannada sulivu antiralla. You don't know Kannada. Hindi? Ishara. You understand the word ishara?
Sentences and
Oh.
example.
So you want the whole thing with an example. Okay. Associate different internal psychological cues with, oh yeah, sure. So sometimes, you know, you may feel but I'm not in the right mood. Okay? Now, right mood is the emotion. The mood. Mood not being good is the emotion. But are you able to realize why so? Is it because of something that happened in the morning? Is it because somebody said something? Is it because you read something? Is it because you just thought nothing really happened? But just your thought. Are you able to understand these different aspects? That is what it means. How many of you like the questions? Hands up. Good questions. Sure. So the purpose of doing this is A, reflection for you, and B, you can take it home and think about it later as well. And I think we have enough extra copies if anybody wants to pick up another copy. Okay, are we good? Yes or no? Can we pause here? Because we are running out of time, you know. I have a few other things I want to share with you. But I hope you did it and you enjoyed it. Right? So let's move on. Let's understand what EI is not. Okay? EI doesn't mean being nice. Sometimes being angry also is an expression of EI. Okay? Or sometimes showing the right emotions at the right time is also emotional intelligence. Correct? It doesn't mean being overly transparent. This is what I'm saying. You should be ready to be transparent, but not so much. And also be careful. We are living in what youth? Being too much transparent can be detrimental also. So know when to say how much and where. It is independent of gender. That means any gender person can be very good in EI. It has nothing to do with genetics. Just because my father is very good in EI doesn't mean I will be good. Just because my mother is good in EI doesn't mean I will be good. And also from a gender point of view, don't mix up being emotional versus being emotionally intelligent. Being more emotional doesn't mean you are emotionally intelligent. In a lot of cases, being overly emotional might mean actually you are very poor in emotional intelligence. Okay, so don't mix those two things. And remember that emotional intelligence and emotional competence are different. Emotional intelligence is the ability. Emotional competence is the use that ability. Are you with me? It's like in science they say potential energy and kinetic energy. See, I'm a science guy, I'm an engineer, so therefore I tend to use some of these examples which come from my area of expertise. Anyway, so but here's a quick question: are conflicts always bad?
No, sometimes the outcomes are positive.
Sometimes they are good, is it? One example, madam.
Yeah, my daughter has conflict with her friend, so I told her that how to deal with her.
So,
She improved as a person. Now she is able to respond.
Achha, in that sense, okay, yeah. But what if the outcome had gone wrong? Would you still say conflict is good?
She will learn a lesson from it.
Right. But yeah, fair enough. Can we clap for that answer, please? Good. But I must tell you even more fundamental thing that conflicts are actually good in certain degree. A, when they are natural, so don't go pick a fight. Only when they are natural. And secondly, when they are used as an approach to find something that did not exist. So for example, look around you here. We've got an air conditioner, we've got a projector, we've got tables, chairs. All these things is actually a result of conflict. Can you tell me how? How is it? Yes, sir.
Because of the heat air conditioning.
Oh, like that conflict. Yeah, you could say in that sense. But from a conventional sense, what it means is somebody said, I don't want to accept the status quo. I want to go find something which is not done yet, not there. When somebody created the aeroplane, Wright brothers, nobody was telling, everybody said, Chalo, we'll go on the road. They said, no, let's think how to. Then when, today everybody uses a smartphone, correct? Which company came up with the smartphone first? Apple, yes. Can we clap for the gentleman here, please? That's right. Because they are the first ones to say we will club a mobile phone, a music system, and a mini computer, and we will call it a. We call it iPhone. They call it iPhone. Then other fellows said, "Hum kya bole? Chalo, we'll call it a smartphone," because they wanted to also create a phone which is similar. Are you getting my point? So everything around us is a result of conflict, but it's healthy conflict. Okay? Yes. Look at this. It is unhealthy when there is no conflict. Again, I am telling you, don't use this as an excuse to create a fight. Okay, only naturally occurring ones. It gives people the opportunity to test their capacities. It forces people to clarify their views. Right? So here is the relationship between organizational performance and conflict. You see, when the level of conflict is low at point A, even the performance of the organization is pretty low. And as the conflict increases, there is an increase in the performance. But remember, there you hit a ceiling. Beyond that, if you still keep increasing the conflict, you will see the performance will come down. Are we okay? Yeah, this is an empirical graph, okay, not to scale. Just to give you an idea what it is. Would you agree if I say all these are same? Yes or no?
No. Will not agree.
You will not agree?
No.
Why, sir?
Because they are different.
Because they are different. What if you see this? A, B, C. For A it appears as a square. For B it is a triangle. For C it is a rectangle. While yes they are different, yet they are same because they are looking at the same object. So depending in your point of view, it can be same or not same. That's why they say whenever you find yourself in a conflict, try to empathize. Try to see the other person's point of view. There's a nice picture. There are two people standing opposite. One person is saying this is 6. The other guy says this is
9.
Both are right. How many of you like that? Interesting, right? One movie is there, another homework. Make a note. This is called, I am one of the only faculty who encourages people watching movies. Okay? But not all movies, only good ones. Like anybody saw this movie recently? F1 the movie? How many of you saw that movie? Oh, amazing movie. Fantastic. Right. After a long time, I felt like promoting a movie. Anyway, this movie's name is called Vantage Point. Yeah? It's a 1 hour 29 minutes. Dekha? Yeah. So that movie, in the entire movie, there's only one scene. There's only one scene. The same scene is shown from different people's perspectives. 8 times. And all the 8 times you feel you are looking at a new story. Exciting? Watch that movie, you will understand. So here you go, there's a quick summary, guys. If you've done well, it can having conflict can be a stimulant for change. It can lead to creativity and innovation. It can lead to group cohesion. Avoidance of tension, identification of weakness, and also brings about the status quo. But then, if you don't manage it well, it can lead to resignation of the personnel, which means people will say, I don't want to be dealing further, There creates a lot of tension, dissatisfaction, creation of distrust, cold displacement, and finally, weakening of organization. Right? So here's a quick difference between traditional view and the modern day view. As I told you there, they thought conflict is inevitable, but now we realize it is inevitable. Anivarya hai. Right? Conflict is caused by management error in designing organization or by trouble makers. But here we think, well, it can rise from many causes, including organizational structure, unavoidable differences in goals, differences in perceptions and values of specialized personnel, and so on. Here, conflict disrupts the organization and prevents optimal performance, whereas in modern view, we think it contributes and detracts from organizational performance in varying degrees. Here, we think the task of the management is to eliminate the conflict, but here it's all about managing a certain level of conflict and its resolution for optimal performance. And finally, optimal organizational performance is the removal of conflict, whereas in the modern view, it is maintaining a moderate level of. Are we cool? This is the saransh of what we have done. And if you want to look at levels, well, there can be conflict at individual level, group level, as well as organizational level. Within each one of them, there is inter and inter is between, intra is within. So you can understand the intra for both organizational and group, but let's look at individual. Inter-individual is between two folks. What is intra-individual? How can you have conflict with yourself?
Between the heart and the mind.
What, madam?
Between the heart and the mind.
No. That is only poetic. Not in real life. In real life, mind only does both the things. Heart might influence. Heart might give certain perspectives, but the decision making happens here. So how can you have
Between ethical and unethical things, because the mind wants to gain money or monetary things, but ethics says that it's not correct.
Yeah.
So we are stuck between things.
Let's clap for the lady, please. That's right. And we'll give a half claps to her because she said mind also. So the point is, a lot of times we hold conflicting thoughts in our mind. Have you seen that? Two or more conflicting thoughts. That is the time when this occurs. In psychology, there is a term for psychiatry actually. There is a term for this situation called cognitive dissonance. Have you heard of it? Yeah, it's called cognitive dissonance. It's a very dangerous spot to be. We all are there at different times in different places. Like today you had lunch there, correct? Something you would have liked more than others. So let me go take one more. But then you will say, health-wise I should not do this. Yes or no? Especially sweet. How many sweet lovers here?
So
Yeah, it happened to him, is it?
that is what was in my mind, heart and mind.
Heart, and it's not heart, it's all mind only. All mind only. Heart is brought in only from a poetic sense. There is no decision-making logic in heart. And heart is also a figure of speech. In reality, it is not the case. Yeah. Alright. Now I have to be very honest in saying what I am saying, so that's why I am being very straight. See, this is being assertive. This is a display of being assertive, right? I am not trying to put her down, I am simply not accepting because she said so. You get the point? Of course, I have got a lot of practice doing this, but you will have to develop it over a period of time. Alright, so now each participant who has listed the 5 conflicts, remember whatever, 2, 3, 4, quickly take 1 minute and write down what do you think is the source of that conflict. You understand? The source. Done. It is very fast and easy to write when you think, I am not the source, somebody else is the source. Okay, all done?
Yeah.
Now you are going to learn something very important. I hope you are all listening. Yes. Let's move on. Here are some examples for sources of conflict. Now, pay attention, make a note if you like. You are free to take a photo as well, no problem. Keep reading. Okay? Quickly make a note or take a photo. Fast. Because I am going to ask you to do an activity. Done, sir? We have 2 screens. Lovely. Okay. You can see here also in which case. Done? Now we look at what is this? Causes of conflict. Now watch now.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
moment you get that there is a screen there was an internal conflict, so I was here and there.
No, it's not a conflict. It's just convenience now. Earlier, in my mind, I was only focused. If I have to see the screen, I have to see here. Now I'm more comfortable. I can even look at the screen. That's all. There's no conflict. Conflict would come if there is some issue, or if, let us say, this works only on one click, this works on 3 clicks. Then in my mind, I have to do a lot of calculation to keep the sync going. That's what it is. Okay, so here we go. Causes: communication problems, personality differences, biasness, poor management, unfair treatment, harassment, misaligned goals. Acha? Okay, take a note or photo of this quickly. Take it quickly. Okay, good. Now comes the question. Now look at both the sources and causes. Whatever I have shown you, you have taken a picture or made a note. Tell me what is the main fundamental difference between the sources and causes. Take a look. Take a look and let me know. Take a look at the list of 2 examples.
I think the sources are external, whereas your causes of conflict are mostly from your side.
Correct? Can we clap for the young lady, please? That's the right answer. Right? So you will realize that all the sources that we have shown are external in nature. We have no control on them. Whereas the list of causes is within ourselves and very much in our control. So go back to this question when I ask you to make a list, make a note of who is the source for your conflict. Correct? How many of you, rather than source, have actually written conflict but you didn't know that time? Hands up. How many of you made that mistake? Without knowing you have written a cause, but actually you have written the cause, whereas you have to find the source. You have got 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Slowly you do that, majority would have done that mistake. Right? So I want to almost bring this conversation to an end with, I'm going to show you one solution approach, but before that I want to tell you that do not get confused between the source and cause. And the other difference also is the sources cannot be addressed much because you won't control them. But you can address the causes because they are very much in your control. Are we cool? Last but not the least is known as the 5 modes of conflict by Thomas and Kilman. They created a framework to help us. What you can do is, whenever there is a conflict, depending on how you and the other person are acting, you can either avoid, which means you are passive or the other person is passive, you are uncooperative or the other person is uncooperative. Make sense? If let us say one of them becomes cooperative, the other one remains passive, then that person is accommodating. If one person is very assertive, the other person is uncooperative, you end up competing. But best case scenario, if you are assertive or he is assertive or she is assertive, the other person is cooperative, you are cooperative, you end up. And of course sometimes you will, let's say they have medium level of cooperation and medium level of assertiveness, you end up. So which are the 2 modes which are recommended always? Recommended modes. Which one?
Collaborate.
Compromising. Which one, sir? Collaborating. Yes, that's right. Can we clap? That's right. Collaboration is the recommended mode. Number 1. Number 2 is?
Accommodating.
हाँ बोलो एक 2 ही बचे हैं. नहीं आते after all.
Compromise.
No, compromising. So only 2 are recommended actually. Sorry? Setting clear boundaries. That's also that is still part of either collaborating or compromising. Compromising does not mean in our Indian context. Are you all listening? We tend to look at this word compromise as sacrifice. Tyag. That is not true. Compromise means to let go of something. Both the parties. That's a compromise. Okay? Whereas accommodating could be that sacrifice type by one party. Competing is one person is very strong, and the other one is worst case is which one? Avoiding. So only 2 are recommended, the other 3 are not recommended, but even though they are not recommended, those 3 things keep happening. So the purpose of showing this to you is you can avoid wherever you can avoid. First of all, avoid has to be avoided. And accommodating and competing also has to be tried to keep at bay. Are we good?
But sir, in real life it's very difficult to implement all these
That is why we have more
For
conflicts.
1 or 2 minutes.
No, true. It's not easy. You have to practice this over a long period of time, and definitely a 30 minutes conversation on this will not help you. So we have to go through a more in-depth workshop or some kind of a practice session where you will get to know a lot more. But I agree with you. It's not easy. By far.
Because trigger, if you will identify the trigger factor which the situation will trigger you, you can deal with it.
Correct. Which side it needs practice. Practice is the key. Abhyasam. Right? Okay, next. Let's move on to negotiation, friends, quickly. What is the difference between negotiation and bargaining? Don't tell me spelling.
Negotiation is accepting others' views also, and bargaining is you are imposing your.
My way or highway? Any other difference? Negotiation and bargaining?
Negotiation on both parts. Plus minus bargaining is only for me.
Only for me. Very selfish. In one sense. Okay. Yeah, but that's how it has become colloquially. But if you really think of it, if you split, you know what is Sandhi Vichhed, you know? Sandhi is to put together, Vichhed is to split it. Do that for bargaining. Take the present continuous tense out of it, take the verb bargain, split it, you get bar and gain. So here bar means what? Not the weekend wala bar. Right? Here the bar means a level, a standard, a reference. Can we clap for her? Very good, very good. So in a bargaining process, what happens is, the two parties involved, each has a bar in their own mind, level of reference. And they are trying to both make some gain with regards to that point of reference. So if let's say you go to buy a kilo of oranges and the shopkeeper says 100 rupees, you will say, hey, kya bol raha hai? No way. You will start your bargaining with, let's say, 70 rupees. Because in your mind, you have done some R&D from other shops. And then you realize that the optimum price should be 80 rupees in your mind. So you will start from, you say, I am not paying a pie more than 80. 80 is what you realize is the bar, you are trying to make a gain. So you will start from, say, 70, but you will not go beyond 80. The seller also has got a bar. Right, and let's say the 90 is the bar for seller. So he started from 100. Now he will only come up to 90. So no deal. You will come only to 80, he will come only to 90. So only the case where either the bar is the same or there is an overlap of the bar. Are you understanding? Say for example 85 happens to be the bar for the buyer and 75 happens to be the bar for the seller, then somewhere you will. Okay. Are you able to appreciate now? That's bargaining. Negotiation on the other hand has its etymological roots in Latin called negotiatius, which means to keep business running or keep things moving, keep things happening. Action should be there. So you will see here, what is negotiation? It comes from the Latin expression negotiatius, which means to carry on with. In fact, I told you I speak Spanish, right? So in Spanish language, the word for business is negocio. So if somebody wants to ask you, what business are you? They will ask you, ¿qué negocio? So you get my point? So negocio literally means business in Spanish, but it comes from this root word. See, it is a dialogue intended to resolve disputes and differences to produce an agreement upon courses of action to. See? Bargaining, therefore, is a part of negotiation for individual or collective advantage or to craft outcomes to satisfy various interests. Are we clear? That's what negotiation is all about. Idea is eventually, in simple words, to bring about a win-win. Are we good? See, you negotiate actually all the time. Getting your kids organized in the negotiation. Yeah? Agreeing on what to do on weekends with your spouse or with your whoever is the better half or whatever. It could be friends, it could be colleagues, it could be your classmates, doesn't matter. Making consumer purchases. I just told you we bought a car recently. Oh my God, the decision making process was such a complex one at home. Getting everybody on the same page, getting their views, getting so many. I had created an entire matrix on Excel sheet. Inspired by another friend of mine, he also had gone through that process. He said, Vishwa, I will send you this sheet. Maybe it will help you a little bit in your process. Right? Entering into business contracts is a negotiation. Like sometimes you negotiate beforehand, sometimes you negotiate after, like I just finished some business in Gujarat and I have come, but we have still yet to negotiate the pricing. Strategically, it doesn't make sense to speak before, it makes sense to speak later, in my case. Some other case, no, you speak before and proceed. So it's up to you what you do and how you do. To resolve disputes and conflict resolution. We spoke about it, correct? You need to be good in negotiating if you want to deal with conflicts. A fascinating story on power of negotiation. I would like you all to make a note of this. Think about air travel or any international travel and think about how many points are there for an airline to run a service from point A to point B, from country X to country Y. I would like you to do this on your own. I'll only give you some examples to understand. Imagine a flight has to go from Bengaluru to Singapore, okay? And let us say it is Singapore Airlines. Can you quickly think of how much of negotiation has to be done by this Singapore Airlines to make this route possible? What are the different touch points? To make a note of that. How many touch points are there for negotiating, for ensuring that this route works? Can anybody tell me quickly? Tell a few and rest you do on your own. How many places you have to negotiate? How many touch points are there?
5 to 10.
No touch point, no negotiation?
Many negotiations.
Where?
Other countries, the airspace.
Correct? If you are flying, you may cut through some other countries.
Yes.
Airspace, you need to negotiate with them. Next, I took an easy example. Let's say once you leave Indian airspace, there's nothing much in between. Maybe Malaysia might come a little bit, otherwise you are straight into Singapore. But if let us say you are flying all the way from India to UK, right, then you have to cut through so many countries. Sorry?
Departure schedule.
Scheduling. You need to figure out scheduling. Both airports should be able to give you slots. Next.
Permissions from the ATC. Permissions from the ATC.
ATC, yeah. You have to create a flight path and say, okay boss, we will be cutting through your area. Please talk to us. Okay, next.
Confirmation from the pilot as well as the
Then वो तो operation के शुरू होने के बाद, that is when the plane starts. But I am saying before, to set that route, don't you think you need clearance from the individual countries' aviation authorities? You need that. Then fueling, correct? So Singapore Airlines will fuel in Singapore to come here in Bangalore. They may have to be refueled again. So you need a negotiation with the service provider here. Plus, what about currency fluctuation? You have to take care of that also. Then what else? Maintenance, correct? You need somebody who will take care of your flight if something happens. Then? What else? What else you need to do? What about food? You need to load the food, right? So you need a local supplier. And international flights will give you many options of food. So you need a local vendor who can give you all of these different types of. What were you saying?
Saying assessment on the need of the flight in this part.
Correct. That the team would have done it before only. So friends, how many of you realizing, wow, that's interesting, hands up? How much of negotiation goes on? And we get angry if the plane starts 10 minutes late. Just think about it. It's extremely complex, right? How many of you ever thought how complex an aeroplane is? Have you realized the aeroplane, it will take off, for example, in a plus 40 degrees area. It flies all the way at cruising altitude. You know what's the temperature outside?
minus 90.
Minus 19.
90.
90. It's about minus 60 to 65. That's how cold it is outside. And we don't even realize it, no? And you're happy, Gala nahi baj rahi. That's what we are thinking. So, and the plane has to then land somewhere, maybe somewhere at 10 degrees Celsius. And you may not realize it, the plane when it takes off is extremely heavy because it has a lot of fuel on board. By the time it lands, it's very light. Never thought of that, right? That means the mass of the aeroplane is a variable, it's not a constant. Think about the whole engineering and the mathematics that goes behind it. It's extremely complex machine. Okay? And sometimes it just falls off. We just saw what happened last month, correct? What a tragedy that was. My biggest worry when I saw that news first was that more people might get killed on ground than in the aeroplane because of the fuel, because it was about to fly all the way to UK. It's about 9 plus hours of flight. It would carry tons of, I think it had 150,000 liters of aviation fuel. Think of it. Luckily, it did not crash into a very thick population. But this is what it is. Anyway, so what are some common barriers to successful negotiation? Well, viewing negotiation as a what? Fight. Trying to win at Trump. Being emotional. Not trying to understand the other person's perspective. Blaming the favorite of politicians. Things don't work, us pe daal do. Fine, whom do we fight? Bakra Khan. You know what happened, no? Chinnaswamy Stadium celebration. Tragedy. Now there are 4 stages to negotiation. There is preparation, exchange of information, bargaining and closing. Let's see what they are quickly. Preparation of negotiation means understanding one's own position and interests of the other party or the parties involved and the issues at stake and what are the alternatives. If you focus on all the underlying points, you will know what is preparation. In one slide I have given you everything. Okay. What are the elements of preparation? Well, there should be a clear-cut agenda. Then you should know what are the facts, what are the assumptions. Whether I am single, whether the other person is a team, or whether I am a team, they are a single person, or the team versus team, you should know this. Makes a lot of difference. Issue versus positions. What are all the open issues at hand and what are my position on them and also the other party's position. So you got to know both. Meeting, site and environment. Where is this negotiation happening? Is it at my location or their location? Because whichever location it is, mine or theirs, whoever it is, they will have what advantage? Home advantage. Correct? Yes or no? Like right now, England versus India's test series is going on. Who has home advantage? England. Oh, only on paper. The crowd is all cheering for India only. Sometimes those fellows must be confused. Where are you playing actually? Like in the last match, there was one, I think, challenge which went in India's favor. If you hear the roar that happened, and the English players must be thinking, really, there's something wrong here, you know. But anyway, I was told about this possibility. No problem. Hey, are we okay with that? Yes. Yeah. Next is about exchanging information. So I'll tell you what it is and we'll see when it comes. Exchanging information is all about respecting the other party's point of view. You also listen to what they are saying, understand why they are saying what they are saying. You ask relevant questions, you ask important doubts. You share your information, give them your inputs, tell them why you are saying what you are saying. Help them also to realize your concerns. This whole process is called exchanging of information. Okay? It's very important the kind of language you use. Now listen, when I say importance of language, you are not expected to behave like Shashi Tharoor. You all understand what I'm saying? In fact, if you speak like Shashi Tharoor, only he will understand. Yeah, so you keep it very easy and cool for the most part, and you will realize that and you will realize that things will be all right. And the other part about exchanging information also is make a note of 2 words: DATNA and WATNA. Banta? Okay. These are 2 acronyms. Okay. WATNA is worst alternative to a negotiated agreement. Anybody knows Marathi here? You understand Marathi? Sounds like Vatna. What does Vata mean? To mix. Grinding, yeah. Mixing. Yeah. Of course, grinding is a more refined version of it, yes. That is WATNA. There is one more word called BATNA. Sounds like Batna, to distribute. But it is best alternative to a negotiated agreement. So you have some expectation when you go into a negotiation event, but you should be ready for a worst case scenario and best case scenario. Okay? Having that preparation will help you. And also There's one more term called ZOPA, which in Marathi means please read. But it's an acronym, ZOPA, which means Zone of Possible Agreements. So you should come into that zone of possible agreement. Like the bargaining example I was telling you, if one of them has 75, other has 85, then there's a zone of possible agreement between 75 to 85. That's the zone of possible agreement. In the earlier example, there was no ZOPA, hence no deal. Clear? So that's what you will see here. See, important points to bear in mind. Consider what a good outcome would be for you and the other side. Identify potential value creation opportunities for both of you. Now, I told you, right? Identify your Vatna. Okay. Anticipate the authority issue. That means if the other party is powerful and strong, they will show their muscle. Right? If you are going and trying to negotiate as a supplier for Reliance, Reliance will decide the price. You don't decide the price. They have lots of authority, extremely powerful. So it's an imbalance kind of a negotiation, which is why you see in a society from time immemorial, politically we are always trying to create a just society where nobody has too much power. If you have too much skewed powers, very polarized, then you get a very scary situation in the world, which is where we are today. We are in a world today where people who are rich are extremely rich, unbelievably rich. There are people who are richer than some countries. Right? Like there are some companies which can go buy other countries on cash. Think about it. So we are living in a very crazy world. Anyway, learn all you can about the other side. Prepare for flexibility in the process. Gather standards and criteria for evaluation and relevancy of fairness, and alter the process in your favor whenever you can. All of this should lead to what did I tell you? ZOPA, zone of possible. How many of you do trading here? Stock market and all that. You know there is something called as the depth of market, down. That is nothing but ZOPA. There are buyers, there are sellers. Buyers are making a bid, sellers are making a offer. Whenever those two meet, yes, done. That is ZOPA. The trade goes through. Correct? That's why if you put a market order, it goes through immediately. Whichever is the nearest price, it will get fulfilled. Correct? So yeah, this already we discussed. Sellers, buyers. Last one is called, not last one. Last but one is bargaining. So getting off to a good start. So exchanging of information. What I told you all these things. We are done with this. Ask questions. Also I mentioned, clarify. What does probing questions means? Those questions that allow you to go deeper. Yeah. Like they say there's a probe into this. Like right now, this air crash. There's a probe in that, right? Investigation. But actually, you should not say probe, because probe is essentially a tool or an instrument that allows you to access areas that are not otherwise accessible. So the key word is investigation using probing techniques. That's correct from a grammatical point of view. Anyway, all this is the same what I have been telling. We can proceed. Now I want to show you about bargaining. There are 5 different styles of bargaining. Competitor means win and lose. Problem solver means win and win. Compromiser is each win a little bit and lose a little bit. Accommodator means the one who accommodates loses, the other party wins. Conflict avoiders, both of them horrible fellows. Right? So you should avoid this kind of a situation. Now, if you carefully observe, these 5 different styles of bargaining are very similar to the 5 modes of conflict management by Thomas and Taylor, because these two are interconnected. What? Interconnected subjects. That's why we saw that one of the skills needed in conflict management to be good is negotiation. So we'll see an example here. Here's the scenario. Let's say there are 2 guys, right, or 2 people, Tom and Sarah. Both of them are working on a project that has a midnight deadline, and they must finish so they can present it at work the next morning. The time is already 2 p.m. Tom's parents are coming in from out of town to meet him that evening, and Sarah has dinner reservation plans to celebrate her 10th wedding anniversary with her husband. Now, the outcome varies depending on the bargaining style as to what will happen. If they are competitive, let us say Tom is competitive, he won't budge. He will absolutely not miss a single moment with his mother and father. So, he argues that either Sarah stays late and finishes it all by herself, or it doesn't get done at all. But he knows Sarah won't allow that to happen. So, the result is Tom will win, Sarah will, Tom wins and Sarah will lose. Let's take the problem solvers approach. Now, this is where you want to be, win-win, right? Tom and Sarah are able to work out a deal with their boss who gives them an extension on the deadline so both can go home on time so that neither misses out their plans for the evening. Here, both of them are winning. This is a rare case. It's not easy. Now you see here, compromising approach. Here, balance of consideration for both self and others. I win, lose sometimes, you lose, win sometimes. So Tom and Sarah each agree to stay till 7 p.m. But they finish it, and each misses a little bit of their evening plans, but nobody will cancel anything. The result is Tom and Sarah will win and lose a little bit on their evening schedules or plans, whatever. Then comes the accommodating approach. Here, if I give in, you will get what you want. I lose, you win. So Tom agrees to bail on his parents so that Sarah can go for dinner. Earlier he was competitive, now he's become accommodating. So result is Tom loses, Sarah wins. Then comes the worst case scenario. Please don't practice this. Next one, which is avoiding the conflict, which means both Tom and Sarah will work late, not realizing they're working on the same thing because they are avoiding the situation. Right? As a result, both of them will miss their plans, and both Tom and Sarah eventually. Are we cool? So our last topic, friends, is on branding, and I don't want to show you any branding framework, techniques and stuff. I just thought we'll quickly talk about branding because I had an idea that we will not have much time left to talk about branding. So let's talk about what branding means. Any idea what branding is? Value. What does brand mean? What is the
Trust.
trust? Yes, who said trust? Can we clap, please? That's the right answer. Of course, there are many right answers, but it is the most important element of brand. Why do we deal with brands, or why do brands exist? Because they give you a sense of trust. See, for example, remove the sticker, change the color of the cap. Chalo isko yellow bana do. If you are given this water of bottle, you will have two thoughts before drinking. Yes or no? Tell me. Yes. And you have no freaking idea from where this water is sourced, how it has been processed. You have no idea. Yet you are happily. No problem. It's only because of. You have no idea who is Vishwanath Gurlhosur, but you all agreed to come listen to him because ICA has invited him. Your trust is not in Vishwanath. I hope now it is come. But your trust was in what? ICA. ICA ने बुलाया है तो कुछ तो होगा. You see what I'm saying? So you see, brand predominantly is a reflection of trust, and whatever branding is all about, the process of developing the. Say it loudly. Developing. That's it. It's all about creating the trust. And so what can we do to create trust as a brand? So let's talk about it.
Consistency in the service of the product.
Consistency in whatever you are doing. Correct? That's one. Next. Quality, transparency, then authenticity. Then what about sense of fairness? A sense of fairness. Right? Then, like how many of you like this brand called Sony? I'm a big fan. Double hand, both hands. Sony, yes. And how many of you don't know this? Raise your hand when I tell you this. For a long time, Sony did not have service centers. They used to sell plenty of products, but they would not have a service center. How many of you don't know this fact? Answer. Yeah. Do you know why? They said, boss, our quality is so high. Why do you need a service? Then due to public pressure, they had to create one. Makhi maar rahe honge most of the time there. They're not doing anything. There's nothing to service. That's how quality is when it comes to German engineering, Japanese engineering. I'll tell you a joke about quality of brand and trust. So many years ago, one American company asked one manufacturing Japanese company to make some mechanical components. Okay? In engineering, there is a concept called tolerance. You know what's a tolerance? What's a tolerance? For in India, tolerance means dealing with all the rubbish that we deal with, morning to evening, from road to government to everybody else. Sorry?
Capacity to deal with pressure.
Capacity to
Deal with pressure.
deal with pressure, no. That's also one way of tolerance, but in engineering tolerance means there are specifications given for something. How much can you have deviation from that? Are you okay? Like they will say, for every 10,000 parts, there can be 2 parts that can be defective. That's a tolerance. Are we okay?
Allowance.
Huh?
Tolerance allowance.
Allowance, tolerance allowance. So it seems this American company said we want so many million parts produced and delivered to us. Our tolerance for every 1,000 parts or 10,000 parts and some 1 or 2 number they gave. So when the package left Japan and reached America, they got 2 major containers. One was all the parts, another was a small container. It had all defective parts. And the Americans were confused. So they called these people and asked, hey, listen, we've got 2 packets, like 2 packages. One is the major one with all the order that we have placed. The other one has all these faulty ones. Why have you sent this? They said, you only told for so many thousands, these many faulty. And they also told, had you not told, our life would have been better. Because you told faulty, we had to redesign how to create faulty ones. You clap for them, no? They say, we don't understand what you mean by faulty ones. हमको नहीं समझ में आता. We don't understand. And truly trust me, unless you work with Germans, unless you work with Japanese, we as Indians, we will not realize what it really means. Brand. Like my friend who has been to Japan so many times that in a period he and that immigration officer had become a friend. Like he would have said, "Kya yaar, aaya nahi abhi tak?" So that kind of a thing, he had an equation. So he told once when he was traveling in the train, the bullet trains. On one occasion, there was a guy who came to every bogie or compartment, and he was going down. So my friend asked his Japanese colleague, "Kya kar raha hai? Who's this guy first of all, and what's he doing?" Then this gentleman told him he is actually the driver of the train, or conductor as they call. Here the conductor means the one who gives ticket. There the conductor means the one who rides. Like even in Espanol, Spanish language, to drive means conducir. Conductor means the one who drives. Anyway, so he told this guy is actually the one in charge of the train, and he is apologizing to all of us because the train is going to be late by 2 minutes. Right? And Bharatiya Railway, according to the law book of Indian Railways, unless the train is delayed by 8 minutes or more, it cannot even be classified as delayed. So, our dictionary unka kitna alag hai. Right? And it seems if the train is later by 8 minutes, and I have not been to Japan, I really want to go because I believe they are they're aliens. I don't think they're humans. I think they're aliens. It's a completely different country from a different planet. Anyway, so it seems that if the train is delayed by about 8 minutes or more, the train company will issue you a certificate saying that the train is officially late, and that has to be provided and submitted to offices, schools as an official record. And for the delay, you will be given compensation also. I remember once I was in Latin America, in Santiago. I was going in a train. I was going in a metro train, and there was some issue. Somebody had died on the track, suicide case. So they stopped the trains. And as we were exiting from that station, immediately the company gave coupons. You can take this coupon, go in the bus, no extra charge. Look at the level of planning, systems. And I even say that's a second world country. It's not even a first world country. So that's what branding is. It gives you confidence, gives you trust, makes you feel comfortable. and you are ready to do what you have to do. That's why we in India, by the last point on engineering example I will give you, Indians are very good in IT. You know this, correct? Okay, yes or no?
Yes.
Do you know why we are good in IT? Of course, God given intelligence is there. We are a very sharp race. We have got great DNA. We have got great lineage. All that is there. But one more thing is there, and that is in developing systems, whether it's IT or engineering, you need to be able to think of how things can go wrong. Correct, sir. And we are the masters of it. Right? We know, that's why we make plan A, plan B, plan C till plan Z. Right? We don't know what will happen, no? We need to be aware, ready with all. So which is why we as engineers are so good in figuring out all this, that we figure out all possibilities, which other country people, poor fellows, where they are used to system processes. So we are very good in that. And while this has helped us to become more sharper and better, unfortunately it's also made us it's made us a race where we don't respect our own brand. So I want to end this statement by saying that we have to change this in one sense or the other. Please remember, our ancestors were not like this. Go look at any of our heritage sites. Do you think it was made by people like us who had plan A, B, C, D till Z? No, they said we have plan A, do this. Yes or no? So our ancestors were very good, and I have a feeling if our ancestors come here just for fun, they may catch a ride. Right? I think they will say, I don't think these people are our. I don't think our DNA is same. I think they will disown us. Okay, anyway, on that note, I would like to say thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the last, 80 minutes or so that we had. Give me 4 minutes, can I take? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Any questions that you have, I would like to answer. Because we didn't have time for Q&A. Normally I keep about 5-10 minutes, but it's okay. Anybody, any questions, any thoughts?
What are this is branding definition we like?
You like the branding definition? Good. Ant bhala to sab bhala. The last one went well. Excellent is great. Thank you. Right. Anybody, any other thoughts? Anything?
In case of emotional intelligence, if you are always getting compromised, you will be losing yourself.
True.
So, what is the best way?
So don't compromise all the time.
So,
Meaning you have to learn to be assertive. The more assertive you become, the more you move away from that. You move towards collaboration. The more you can. Like I received a message, and then I spoke to that lady. We were supposed to have some work later this week, in the coming week. Then for some reason she had messaged, sir, we are planning something else. Then she said, can we do something on that day? And that day I am not available. So I called and honestly told her, sorry madam, I am not available. Here are the days I am available. And then she had some conflict with some of those. So she said, let me find out, sir, if I can do something. So I gave her 3 options. 1, 2, 3. If possible, great. If not, we'll see what else we can do. So don't get overly emotional. What is this you told earlier? For your sake, I did this. Don't get into all that.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
what is the online source or any other source to learn the soft skills? That is the best way.
Practice is the best way. You can learn through books, you can learn through videos, or you can come attend programs like this. But you have to practice. That's the only way out. No escape from it. Yeah. Yes.
How to deal with people who have short-term visions in their mind, short-term vision with short-term goal, and they're your teammates or they're your seniors.
How to deal with? Let me rephrase or paraphrase. And others, could you hear her question? No. So I'll repeat that. She's asking, how do you deal with people who have short-term vision
Or short-term goals.
or short-term goals and inside something else?
And they might be your colleagues or the
They might be your
colleagues or the directors.
colleagues or directors. So what's the problem? Okay. If they have short term, let them keep the short term. What's the problem with you?
So if we think long term, or if we think of broad expansion, expanded view,
Correct.
we're not able to.
So it depends on your relative power differential. So if they are very high and you are not very high, then you are not able to influence them. So all you can do is have a conversation with them and speak from a point of view of understanding, okay, you have made this choice. Can I understand what are the considerations for it? And I have been thinking in this direction. What are your views on it? Try to understand them more. And then you may realize that actually the short-term solution or a short-term goal from your point of view could be only a small milestone on the longer journey which they have not expressed. This is one possibility. The other possibility is, yes, they really have short-term. Then it gives you a cue that, boss, I cannot stay here for too long because problem gadbad ho jayega. So you think of how to move on to some other better place.
They are like, next time we will improve.
So that's also called as kicking the can down the road. Is a very interesting form of hypocrisy. So a lot of people do that. In fact, unfortunately today most of our leadership globally, starting from political all the way to corporate and anywhere else, whether it's religious institutions, whether it is professional institutions, most of them are only doing short term. Like, how many of you read that preliminary report of the air crash which has happened? It is ridiculous. That it boils my blood just reading that and understanding what it is. So it seems like they are going for the short term. Something is up. But I also have a feeling, my feeling, that they are purposely testing the waters to see what will happen.
But in long term, really people understand what.
Huge disadvantage, and I am very much worried flying now. This is what is the kind of things that are going on. I am very concerned. And in my case, I am an aviation enthusiast, so I really have a lot of understanding of how the system works. Just to give you an idea, one time I was landing at a place called San Jose in Costa Rica, and as the plane was landing, I was on the window seat, and I am seeing this plane is too fast to land. I don't think it will land. This is my calculation, my brain, and we did not land. We took off because there was lateral wind. So the planes, the air pilot said we are taking off again. So we went all around, we came again, we were again not possible, we went around, then they announced we are low on fuel. then we were diverted to another place, city, we refueled and then we came back. So in my case, I am also able to understand what's going on to a certain degree. I am not an expert, but to a certain degree. So yeah, it gives more tension to me.
There is a movie I can recommend, Yodha, that talks about a lot of details of a plane itself.
Yodha?
Yodha.
I have not seen, okay. Is it the remake of The Flight by Denzel Washington? That one?
I don't think
Not
so.
that one. Sorry? You both watched? Is it the same? Similar, is it? Okay. Then I've seen that one. Indianized version. More drama, more some music and stuff like that, you know. Okay, great. Anybody else? Anything else? No? Alright guys, thank you very much. May God bless all of us, and hope you have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.
Dear members, I would like to make a couple of announcements. So we have the most prestigious event, that is the 20th Karnataka State Level 2 Days CA Conference on 29th and 30th of August. It is Friday and Saturday at Princess Shrine, gate number 9, Palace Grounds. So I request everybody to take active participation in this conference. And we have another residential refresher course organized by the Committee on Promoting Work-Life Balance. It is a 3 days residential happiness retreat for CAs from 25th to 27th July at the Art of Living International Center, Kanakpura Road. People interested can register for this session. And let's quickly take up, sorry, I forgot to thank the speaker. So actually, today's session was very insightful, sir. Thank you for such a wonderful session and providing valuable insights on emotional intelligence and conflict management skills. We, the managing committee members of Bengaluru branch of ICA, on behalf of all the members present here, appreciate the time and effort to disseminate the topic. I hope all the members have gained wider insights. As a token of appreciation, I request the chairman, Mr. Manjunath, to honor the speaker by handing over the memento. Now it's time for the tea break. So let's be back by 4:25. So we'll finish the last session soon. Thank you.